Welcome to Music Fusion Fridays here on KBVR. I'm Maya Holmes.
And I'm Brittany Wooten.
And we're the Blonde Bombshells,
here to give you your weekly music news. According to Oregon Music News, Portland's hard rock radio station 101.1 FM KUFO has been shut down after 21 years in action. KUFO left a message on their website thanking all their fans for enjoying their station for the last 21 years. This does, however, leave Portland with only a single FM radio station that plays current rock music. KUFO's replacement will be News Radio 750 KXL on the FM dial. According to the conservative talk radio replacement, 750 KXL has taken its news, information, and talk shows to the FM dial effective immediately, now as a simulcast on 101.1 FM. As a result, KXL AM FM will now deliver news and information featuring in-depth reporting on local, national, and international stories, as well as weather and frequent traffic reports throughout the day, and all to a broader audience by utilizing the more powerful signal on the FM dial.
San Francisco folk duo the Dodos have once again returned to create an album in Portland, this time to record their third newly released album entitled No Color. The Dodos were recruited in 2009 by Northwest indie rock producer Phil Eck to record their breakthrough album, Time to Die. According to Michael Mannheimer of Willamette Week, the record, however, was not met with the enthusiasm the band had anticipated, and some even said that the band had traded its unstoppable energy for a more safe sound. Now, throwing all that out the window, the Dodos' lead guitarist, singer, Merrick Long and drummer Logan Kroeber have collaborated with Portland producer John Askew, and together they aren't playing it safe any longer. Whereas Time to Die traded the band's bluesy folk pop sound, No Color brings it all back in a raw way. The duo spent the tail end of the summer in Portland recording the album at Tight Foundry and also at Askew's own Scenic Burrows studio, where they incorporated a laid-back spirit into their sound. The album was also amped up by the addition of electric guitar and more rhythmic interplay, as well as a traditional folk sound. The Dodos gave some lucky Oregonians the pleasure of hearing their new sound as they played this past Tuesday at the Doug Fir Lounge, along with Reading Rainbow. If you didn't get a chance to see the Dodos live, be sure to get your hands on a copy of their newest album, No Color.
According to Oregon Music News, the first taste of Yacht's upcoming full-length Shangri-La on DFA Records, the second on the renowned NYC dance label but fifth album overall, is here. The socially conscious dystopia, The Earth is on Fire, is a song about disaster, natural and otherwise, in a world of earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, and oil spills. Yacht says the song was actually written last May around the time of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The message is clear, warning that the tides are rising, the skies are darkening, and our overconsumption will be our demise, but told in a synthesized rocking disco boogie voice. Yacht, along with their backing band, The Straight Gaze, is becoming a finely tuned machine, and this preview of their new album might hint that the rough edges have finally been sanded into smooth corners. Shangri-La, due out on June 21st, was produced, mixed, and recorded and performed by themselves. You can catch them in Oregon for the last two dates of their upcoming tour, May 14th at Portland's Wonder Ballroom and May 15th at the Fort George Brewery in Astoria.
It seems that British conductor Michael Francis will once again be saving the day by doing an emergency fill-in and leading the Oregon Symphony. According to James Bash of Oregon Music News, on this occasion he will be flying into Portland from Indiana to replace German conductor Gunther Herbig, who had to withdraw from the concerts on April 10th and 11th for personal reasons. Last month, with less than 24 hours notice, Francis arrived straight from London to lead the orchestra after a guest conductor was forced to cancel. He received a phone call asking him to come, jumped on the next flight to Portland, studied the scores on the flight over, and was there in the morning to lead the symphony. This time, however, Francis will only be flying from Indiana, where he has been leading the Indianapolis Symphony. He will be leading the Oregon Symphony on April 10th and 11th in its classical series concerts entitled A Pair of Six Symphonies. There will be no change to the program, which will be bookended by a pair of 6 symphonies, and in between will feature the Oregon Symphony debut of 23-year-old Russian-born pianist Natasha Paremsky. Tickets for the concert are available at the Oregon Symphony ticket office in downtown Portland, over the phone, at the concert hall box office starting 2 hours prior to the show, or online at any time for an orchestra's website.
It's official. Portland's largest annual festival, Music Fest Northwest, will be back for its 11th year at 18 venues across town from September 8th through September 11th. According to Oregon Music News, the 2010 Music Fest Northwest brought us 2 outdoor showcases in Pioneer Courthouse Square, featuring performances from the Decemberists and the National. Word is this year there is a possibility of 3 nights of concert at Pioneer Square. How else do they plan to trump last year? No word yet on that, but they do promise it to be the biggest and best yet.
23-year-old Nashville singer Caitlin Rose is making her way onto the music scene with an indie soul sound and a brand new LP that's waiting patiently for a release date. According to Ezra Ace-Karef of the Portland Mercury, Rose was raised in the Music City and came from quite the musical background. Her father is a longtime record label employee who has worked at various major labels, while her mother has written songs and some of the biggest hit singles for the likes of Taylor Swift and others. Rose herself began her career in 2008 when she released her EP, Dead Flowers. People began to notice her and kept an eye on Rose, waiting to see what the future would hold for this potential starlet. Despite this, Rose's newest musical endeavor, her LP Own Side Now, has remained dormant in this country without a release date. However, in Europe, Own Side Now has not only found a release date, but critical praise as well, providing a nice foundation for when her US release finally does occur. Caitlin Rose brought a little of her Southern charm stateside recently and performed this past Monday, April 4th at the Doug Fir Lounge. Here's to hoping that her US career takes off real soon. Stay tuned, we'll be back after the commercials.